Welcome to Bruins Overtime Live, presented by BuyAToyota.com. For offers not seen on TV, visit BuyAToyota.com. Adam Peller and Billy Jaffe. Gigi Marvin here with you as the Bruins skate away with a 3-0 win over the Minnesota Wild. It came into the game tonight talking about how the Wild, yes, shorthanded, but still the best road record in the National Hockey League. But the Bruins been playing well at home, and they held up tonight, getting the job done, and Jeremy Swayman pitching a shutout.
Swayman was excellent. The PK was excellent. The 6-on-5 or 5v6, excellent. Can I get one more excellent in there? The work ethic was excellent in this game. And I thought, Gigi, that was really indicative after the first 10 minutes or so of the first period. It was really, really hard work effort from the Bruins in this one. I thought they did a good job both offensively and defensively.
Agreed. Their urgency to the puck. It was evident that they wanted the puck. They had energy. They had excitement. Sometimes I got a smile on my face just watching them compete because you knew that desire was there, and they executed really well. I thought, as you mentioned, the Wild came out pretty dominant the first 10 minutes, but since then, the Bruins really closed up shop and did excellent with their details.
Yeah, the Bruins knew that they had gotten thumped 6-0 by Ottawa in their previous game, and I mean thumped, right? And yes, they're depleted a bit. No Kirill Kaprizov is a big loss. However, so the Bruins were prepared for it. Yet Minnesota came out, and they came out good. You had to expect that. Bruins took it. They reestablished a little bit of dominance, so to speak, and they went out. And I liked this game. I liked it an awful lot. This one, the eye test said really good effort.
Yeah, and building off of the win against the Rangers on Saturday night as well. And, again, protecting home ice, which the Bruins have done very well as of late. But let's get back to some of the storylines in this game. And it was certainly the penalty kill up to the task against the Minnesota Wild, getting the job done all night long.
They were strong, in the lanes, causing the Minnesota Wild to pick different options. And they collapsed down to the house pretty well. As you see, the puck was just not able to connect for the Minnesota Wild. And even when there was an opening and a seam, again, that ability to collapse, to come in tight to your goaltender and protect the house, if you will. Look at that. Jeremy Swayman, first save, but who got the second and third? Callahan and his teammate. And so that comes up huge to be able to have Swayman there. But you need your teammates to come and support you as well.
Yeah, number one has got to make the decision, but number two's got to read off what number one's doing, right? I mean, you got to support. You have to layer up, whatever term you want to use. The Bruins did that. They were correct in their aggressiveness, the right amount of aggressiveness, especially as we see here on Marchand, getting after it. Wasn't sure if he got called a penalty or not. And then, you thought that Wahlstrom scored. Everybody thought he scored, including himself. But the official correctly waved it off as it hit the post. But just in the third period alone, the power play or the penalty kill was tremendous. They just gave up 4 shots to the Wild on the power play total for the game. So in the third period, it was no doubt the penalty kill was the major factor to help secure this victory.
And Jeremy Swayman up to the task, 5-on-5 end when the Bruins were on the kill. He is our star of the game, presented by Subaru of New England. Fall in love with a brand new Subaru, and great to see Jeremy Swayman getting the job done now in back-to-back games for the Bruins.
Yeah, he was tremendous. I mean, he made some great saves, but none of them looked dramatic or acrobatic. And not to say that's what, like Fleury's more like that, right? As we talked about, he's fun to watch. Swayman was so sharp in his movements, like right there. I mean, Boldy puts the puck up high. Swayman's reading it, understands, sees it, clearly holds on to it. Very few rebounds given in this game. Maybe 1 or 2 early on, Gigi, but besides that, this guy was absolutely dominant, owning that crease.
I think you're spot on. To me, what stuck out is he knew what the next play was. You always talk about Wayne Gretzky. He was a couple steps ahead of the play. Swayman tonight, it seemed like, knew what that second and third option was going to be, and he took that away. He came out and challenged on top of his crease, which I liked. And even when there wasn't as much support in that front, he found a way to hold on tight and support himself while there's just chaos happening around him. And I mean, that's calm, and that's a lot of composure.
Saw the numbers right there, 34 saves, third shutout of the year, 1 shy of his career high in a season, matching his goaltending buddy, Jonas Korpisalo. He has 3 shutouts on the year as well. And take a look at the numbers over the last 10 games, 5-4-1, 9-14 save percentage. And we had said in the month of January, nobody had faced more shots on net than Jeremy Swayman.
Yeah. Now the question becomes, Adam, do they go back with him tomorrow night? Joe Sacco, the interim head coach, said to us today in the media room about, seeing how this game goes, and he'll withhold the decision until later. I mean, I still think Korpisalo ends up getting.
I think it's Korpisalo tomorrow.
I would think so.
That's what I would say. 34 save shutout for Jeremy Swayman, picks up the win. Goalie talk after the game with Razor.
Jeremy, 33 save shutout tonight. Talk about the PK. Talk about the job the guys did in front of you. Lots of traffic. Minnesota throwing pucks at nets.
I think, just following the game plan the right way. Sacks put it together, and we have to push. We know what position we're in right now, and I'm just really happy with the way the guys are executing in front of me, and especially to do it at home against a very worthy team, something we can build on.
How much fun is watching Marc-Andre Fleury down at the other end? How great is that, and how hard is it? Can you tell everybody how hard it is to play the way he does?
I think he's got another 1,000 in him, honestly, man. It's just I love talking to that guy. He's a role model of mine, and I'm sure for so many more. And just watching him play, the amount of fun he has, I heard him hooting and hollering, so I gave him one back at the end there. But he's just a class act. There's a reason why he's had success in this league so long. So it's one that I really cherish playing against and really respect.
One down, 2 more to go here before the break. You guys are able to compartmentalize these 3 games as your last week before the break. Off to New York tonight and then Vegas. What's the talk in the room for these last 2 now?
It's playoff mentality. We know that every point matters at this point, and we have jobs to do every night that we have a chance to get 2 points on the table. So that's the mindset going forward, and I'm really happy with the way that we're responding.
Absolutely. Great job. Way to respond by you. Another shutout. 3rd on the year, buddy. Way to work.
I love the goalie talk.
The goalie union. That's a goalie union get together.
We just keep them to the side, and they have their own moments.
Man, we got to sponsor that segment. Goalie talk now. Andrew Raycroft, Jeremy Swayman. Anytime he has a walk-off with Swayman or Korpisalo.
That's great.
He talked about the Bruins. Offensive numbers in the month of January were much better, but the defensive numbers started to slip. Some of that may be attributed to some of the injuries they've been dealing with. Well, they're starting to get guys back, including Charlie McAvoy, but in terms of McAvoy showing some offensive prowess over the last couple of games.
Yeah, and before he went out with the injury, missed 6-7 games, he was actually at a couple assists, like 3 assists in his previous 4 before he got injured. But here, this was just a spectacular shift by these guys, and it ends up culminating with a good rotation. You get your high guy in Pastrnak coming up top, right? So that means your right defenseman, McAvoy, who's in the middle of the ice right now as we break it down for you. Watch right here. He's going to end up trying to get the puck, hit the seam, knowing he's got guy behind him. And right now he's going to flank over to the right side. Pasternak's going to bring it to the middle, go to the net, go to where the puck's going to be, Geekie. Puts his stick on the ice, just kisses it a little bit and redirects it past Fleury.
Hockey sense. That's what that speaks to me. Instead of rolling up and trying to go back to the blue line and having 2 players in that, it would be Fleury and McAvoy. Instead, he's so smart, intelligent, goes to the middle of the ice, takes away the eyes. And I love his poise and patience with the puck. He doesn't force it. He waits until there's an opening and then fires the puck in.
David Pastrnak, stay hot, continues to pile up the points, now extending his point streak to 11 games. We mentioned during the pregame show that the 10-game point streak that he had was the 8th of his career, passing Bobby Orr, second on the Bruins all-time list, trailing only Phil Esposito at 10-game point streaks in his career. And then you see the numbers since January 1st, 14 goals, total of 29 points, leading the National Hockey League. And so Pasta's been doing his thing. But again, you look for secondary scoring, and you saw last game against the Rangers, you saw Charlie Coyle coming up with the goal, and you see Trent Frederic coming through for the Bruins tonight off the rush.
Trent Frederic, I thought he was strong. His whole line was excellent the first period, and as the game got on, it felt like they got in even more of a rhythm. And here's a turnover by the Minnesota Wild, or by the Bruins. Minnesota Wild trying to capitalize, but great back check by Oliver Wahlstrom. And there go the Bruins, other way, 3-on-2, mid-lane drive, wide open cross-ice pass, beautiful finish. I mean, Fleury came out so far in front of his net, and Frederic still found a laser to that far puck.
All right, let's show it to you on the breakdown. And I want you to watch 25, Carlo. He actually bowls over or under Johansson. Rossi comes back, but you know what? Rossi stays with big 25 instead of looking, shoulder checking for who's the most dangerous guy right now, because there's 2 Wilder. He's got to get over to Frederic. He doesn't. Frederick's wide open, and he just BBs it. He just absolutely missiles it upstairs over Fleury. Fleury's like, oh, man, I couldn't get the glove on that one. Trent Frederic showing some good stuff. But you're right. Look, right here, you see that drive by Carlo that takes not one but two Minnesota Wild defenders with him, opens up beautiful passing lane on a perfectly executed 3-on-2. You couldn't draw it up better in the coach's room or in the practice locker room. You know, that's what you want to do, and they did it right there.
By the way, both of those goals that we showed, assists by Matt Poitras. We'll talk about him.
Absolutely. What a game.
Good back-to-back multi-point games for Poitras. All right, we've got plenty more to come here on Bruins Overtime Live. Bruins with the 3-0 win over the Minnesota Wild. They'll head to New York, second of a back-to-back tomorrow night.